Hello there, everybody, and today I'm very excited to talk about John Wick Chapter 4, the last of the John Wick movies. Or is it? I'm not sure. But this came out 2023, and this is where John Wick is up against the High Table, a group that is willing to let John have his freedom if he's willing to finish off them in a duel or not. And it's up to John to face up against the enemies of the High Table in order to find his freedom. So this movie was really good. Even though it's a very long movie, this movie is like 2 hours and I think even 40 minutes. And I gotta say, it's basically a long action movie, and that's John Wick. The last two movies were John trying to escape people trying to hunt him down. This movie is about redemption or the final arc for John. And he has allies in this movie, and lots of them die or betray him or join his side. It's either or. And the best parts of this movie are the action scenes. The movie literally opens with John boxing while the High Table is getting unleashed. And we see a scene with John on the horses. He's taking down a few gang members. And we see, once we see the High Table, we see Bill Skarsgård from It. I'm surprised that he's in this movie. But we also see Lance Redundant's character. By the way, I don't know if I've said this in my videos, but rest in peace, Lance Redundant, since this is his last, I think, movie. And his character dies in this movie. I thought that was surprising, since he was a good ally for John. But once they learned they were friends of him, he dies. He gets shot. But once John is introduced to everything, we also see characters like Clancy Brown. I was surprised that he was even in this movie. It feels like Clancy Brown's in a lot of movies. He's in all over media. We see him in voice acting, and now he's in a John Wick movie. But as this is all going on, the person that's sent to take down John Wick is Donnie Yen's character, a blind assassin. He literally is blinded, and he uses a sword to fight, and he's able to kick ass in this movie. And Donnie Yen, I think he's a great action star. I loved him in Rogue One. He also played another blind character, Chirrut, who, if you remember his character in Rogue One. So it's by coincidence in this movie. But as this is going on, John has these 1-2 friends that help him out, try to escape, but I think one of them gets killed by John in a fierce duel. But the action mainly starts in a hallway in some kind of museum. There's a bunch of gunshots everywhere. John is just shooting everyone. He's going all in. And there's blood all over him. It's quite intense. But yeah, there's a lot of cool scenes. But I feel the movie kind of slows down a bit once we get the dialogue scenes. But it's interesting to learn about the High Table. It feels if you pay attention, you can see what the plot is. We see that they do tell him what John has to do. He's basically on the run, and I think later in the movie they play this sort of card game. There was this one gambling scene, but it leads to a fight. But later in the movie, they use these cards to plan what time, what day for John to make his final stance for his freedom. As this is going on, he is getting hunted by the various bad guys. He also meet this one dude who's a sharpshooter going after John. I forget his character's name. I'm so sorry, but he manages to I think he does betray John, but then he joins his side with him at the end. He also has this one dog, which is adorable, since John's a big fan of dogs. We also see the return of Lawrence Fishburne's character. I don't think he does too much in this movie, but he basically motivates John to make his final stance. He even gives him a new tuxedo after it was ruined after the big fight. But We also get a cool action scene between John and Donnie Yen's character. It was a cool action scene. Like, they're using their guns, swords, they're, like, jumping around the museum, and then, like, they're getting shot at, but, like, I feel like one of the best scenes in this is, like, we also get this car. I'm kind of jumping a bit with this movie, but, like, John also gets into this cool, badass car chase, and we hear the song Painted Black. That's a really good song. That song was also used in The Devil's Advocate, that also stars Keanu Reeves. And, like, they're playing that song. He's using the car. He's, like, crashing various people. He's just shooting people after shooting people. But as this is all going on, I think the final battle takes place on a large flight of stairs, where John is, like, fighting all the bad guys. He's just shooting them. But once the allies come together, Donnie Yen and the other dude with the dog, and they all fight the various bad guys for, like, one last stand. But I think the dog even pees on one of the goons after John shot them. But that was it was meant to be funny. But, like, easily one of the most entertaining scenes is while we notice how John keeps on going. He keeps fighting. He tries to go up these flight of stairs, and he is kicked down by the goons. And Keanu Reeves is quite the stunt double. I don't know if he did his own stunts for this movie, but he's falling down the various stairs. And and some people even made, like, loops of, like, John Wick falling down all those stairs. But he ends up still getting back up, even though he's killed all the goons. And we also get a bunch of because the John Wick movies are known for their over-the-top death scenes. I'm pretty sure John even uses, like, a blade of some sorts earlier in the movie where he was, like, stabbing a guy and then blood splats everywhere. And then, like, as he goes back upstairs, I think he finally takes down the dude. But once they get to the high table, they now have Donnie Yen and Keanu Reeves have to make a duel. Or they remove their vest, and the one dude with the dog watches, and they have to use their guns to shoot each other and see who wins their freedom. But John gets shot multiple times, and I think he basically loses against Donnie Yen, but once Bill Skarsgård tries to finish him off, John just shoots him in the head. I'm pretty sure it was... Yeah, and then he dies, and then he's told he's accepted his freedom. And we get this final beautiful scene. I think it's easily one of the best scenes in this movie. Big spoiler. That's your warning. But John has a final moment on the stairs where he's near the sunset, and he reflects on his whole life. He thinks of one last time of his wife that he loves so much. It all took a turn since the first John Wick movie. And John finally gets to rest in peace, even though he's been a wanted man. Even in this movie, he's wanted for, like, millions of dollars. But John is shot, and it looks like he dies. But some people think this is up for interpretation, if he died or not. But we see the grave where Lawrence Fishburne and John's dog is literally sitting at the grave, and John's right next to his wife. And it was easily one of the most beautiful scenes. It reminds me of, like, how Iron Man died in Avengers Endgame, and, like, Logan, how he died in Logan. But this was easily like I feel like I honestly don't really want a John Wick 5. It'd be awesome if we do get one. But yeah, the John Wick 4 was easily the best out of the four movies. Like, this felt like a finale, and a beautiful finale, even though it's a very long movie. But some scenes, I don't know, they like were dragged for me. But I was more into the action for this movie, for sure. And some people even want a Donnie Yen like spin-off from John Wick. Honestly, I could see it. But if I think John Wick's dead, And I honestly think he is. Or they could explain away that he survived his gunshot wound, even though John has survived gunshot wounds. He survived getting stabbed. Like, he's a fighter, and it shows in this movie. But John Wick 4, I probably give like a 10 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. But what do you think of the John Wick series? I finally finished all 4 John Wick movies. It's a great action movie. It's just a fun movie with the awesome Keanu Reeves. Yeah, I also saw another Keanu Reeves movie. I don't know if I should review it. That movie was super boring, but John Wick 4 was definitely a surprise for sure. Long but fun. But anyway, the next review I think is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem. But anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys next time.